Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we are discussing the Bethune DB25 moonphase Starry Sky, an extraordinary platinum 44mm timepiece that represents the best of art and science, engineering and artistry all in one. This is a craft art timepiece from the brand based in La Berson that makes only 150 pieces a year, of which most are not exactly métier d'art timepieces as this one. This is exceptional even by the standards of the exceptional. A rare piece and a special order 44mm platinum case set with 66 circumferential baguette diamonds. It sits easily on my 16cm circumference wrist. In spite of its generous sizing, it is an easy fit. Now this is a DB25, which is a little bit different from the popular floating lug de Bethune timepieces in that it's a bit more conventional in its appearance and its fit. The spacing is 51.3mm lug-to-lug, only 13.2mm thick in spite of the power reserve and the diamonds. And if you were to measure the spacing between the lugs, it's 24mm, so the watch has a broad planted modern stance on the wrist. There's a nice, one might even say, commensurate spacing of lug and strap to case width. So the timepiece is highly integrated and coherent in its design. One element that is not representative of production, because this is a prototype, is the strap, which will be alligator in the final delivered model. It will be gator on the top, it will be gator on the bottom, and though you have your choice of straps, the standard fitment is navy blue, de Bethune signature blue. Right here we have a matching precious metal buckle with a nice teardrop style profile on its flank that echoes handsomely the design of the lugs. You can see even in the DB25 line there is a small echo of the traditional de Bethune ogival or torpedo-shaped lug end, and you can really appreciate the difference between the floating lugs of the conventional DB28s and DB27s and the stepped lug juncture, the more conventional lug fitment of the DB25s. But you can see that the case is not lacking in nuance or strength, as there is a sharp guidron or bar formed by the junction of the case back in the mid-case as well as the bezel in the mid-case. There is invisible channel-less setting of the 66 baguette diamonds, and they are wonderfully subtle. You don't really notice the watch until you get to within half an arm's length. You notice the design and you notice the dial, but the gems don't declare themselves until the last minute. It's a subtle look. You can also see that the crown itself, as studied and nuanced as any other part of the watch, wonderfully knurled and drilled. It looks like nothing else in the business, all of that with a domed black polished outer face. Now the dial. We need to talk about the dial. It is grade 5 titanium and fire blued, a system that de Bethune patented right at the beginning after founding itself in 2002. David Zanetta and Denis Flageolet, the watchmaking maestro of the brand, decided that blue would be a signature and blued titanium, distinct from traditional blued steel, would be one of the design and color signatures of the brand. The dial is a composite of the blued titanium, white gold orbs that are used to create some of the larger stars in the Milky Way band, and then the smaller golden flecks are actually laser ablated details. No two of these dials are exactly alike, all are handcrafted. At center you can see that the hour and minute hands have been first rendered in rose gold, and second curved by hand to trace the arc of the outer dial. And at 12 o'clock we have the signature 360-degree spherical de Bethune moonphase. 122-year maintenance interval, so you need only correct it every 122 years. It's done through the crown. There are no external pusher adjusters. You can see one side of the sphere is blued steel, one side is white precious metal palladium. An extraordinary timepiece, and that's before we even get to the case back. You can see that the case back has been entirely black polished. Every single millimeter of the balance bridge, the bridge for the individual mainspring barrels, and the base over the plate of the movement, all black polished, and you can see that it has been done to a specular finish so that it is absolutely flawless and mirrored. If you look at the edge of the bridge, you can see the classical mirrored anglage that you would expect from a brand steeped in the traditions of traditional French Swiss Valley watchmaking, and you can see that that Canton of Vaud tradition preserved on the balance itself, which is completely rounded and specular finished in its own right. Outboard you can see the flanking triple parachute shock protection system patented by de Bethune back in 2005. It's an in-house innovation paired with the Inca block shock protection on the balance staff. The balance itself patented, a solid disc of silicon with a white gold rim. It has minimal aerodynamic parasitic drag. It has a very low coefficient of thermal expansion, so it doesn't vary its timing much in very cold or very hot conditions, and all of its mass is in the rim, so it has a very high polar moment, which allows to shake off the timing effects of concussion, vibration, or shock on the wrist. The hairspring is de Bethune's own patent. You can see the off-center dog leg kink. They designed it, they made it. It's a 2006 patent of their own design, and it allows the flat hairspring to beat concentrically in any position, just like an overcoil would, but without the vulnerabilities of an overcoil. Finally, you can see a silicone escape wheel of the company's own design, also patented, and this reduces friction in the escapement. There is a power reserve for the 6-day manual wind power reserve. You can see the scale up and down just below the balance. Art, artistry, art, and science all in one piece. But if perhaps your tastes run towards metal alone and you love the expressive dial of the watch and the extravagant case construction, but you're not into the set gems, well, there is a DB25 moonphase Starry Sky for you, rendered in white gold, also 44 millimeters in diameter, also 13 millimeters thick, also with the same spacing between the lugs. This one is white gold, and the dial features all of the blued titanium with a little different aesthetic. You have hands with a sort of modified Breguet and Dauphine hybrid skeleton appearance. High contrast against the base. You still have the white gold stars in the background, a somewhat less involved cosmos without the band of the Milky Way, but with far more white gold orbs inlaid. Of course, you get the same gorgeous caliber on the caseback and the same mechanical specifications. This a different path you might take in the same general direction. Variations on a theme. De Bethune, a company that makes only 150 watches a year, allows you to decide. See this on the website, debethune.com and golfbergwatches.com, where you can call our experts, including myself, who love to chat De Bethune.